to say his name. Who's the drunk one?
You.
Good Lord.
God damn it. I mean, all in.
Give me Trace Cardos, please, oh.
What do you got?
I got 2. I need 1 more, my man.
Who's drunk? Who's drunk now?
Trace needs 3.
There we go.
I'm
Sure does.
Deuce.
2 blue.
Oh shit.
Nope.
No. Okay, no, that's him. I thought I had the match.
2 blues and 2 greens to him.
Too rich for my blood.
Good call.
Yeah.
I've got 5s and jacks.
I have kings. Motherfucker.
This is boring.
You're boring. Can you hand me your cards, please, sir?
Here's a little secret about me that you might not have known. I am terrible at poker. I really am. I suck ass. This is going to turn around quick. Especially when I start hosting and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay. What if I just run out of chips, though?
There's this thing called strip poker, girl. That's how we get listeners.
It's the implication of it.
Because of the implications. You know what I can't do that I wish I could do is the shuffle of the chips.
Oh,
Hey, I did it.
that's under me.
That's what she said.
I'm so not good at that.
Coming up on First Course Verse, Season 4. We're almost in the books. Time to have some fun.
I'm gonna fold.
Let's
Folding?
get
I think so.
drunk.
Good choice.
What did you have?
I had a powerful pair of 3s.
Hold the phone, hit the hip, cheek to cheek. Push me away like I'm loose.
Damn it, I have pure 4s! God damn it!
I had a fucking pair of 8s.
Did you?
I did.
Fucking poker!
That's true.
Welcome to First Course Verse, everybody. I am DL. Welcome. Hope you're well. We're playing a little poker. With me is Rachel, Buffalo Trace and Coke, Polio. Rachel, how you doing?
I'm great. A little warm.
Buffalo Trace. What
Is
do
it
we
warm
call
in
it?
here?
Trace and Coke.
BT&C.
Frankfurt and Atlanta, Frankfurt.
What?
Coke is Atlanta, Frankfurt is Buffalo Trace.
Frankfurt.
Atlanta, Kentucky.
Oh,
Also with us is Evil. Get this man an eggnog, Jimmy. Evil.
It's goddamn right.
How do eggnogs do?
I like that dairy department.
The Department of Dairy. What are we doing tonight, everybody? Season 4 finale. Yes, that's right. We are finally here. We've done it. We're in some backwoods, who knows where, not city that we don't know, and we're playing poker. And I'm winning. Annie up, by the way.
Probably.
Yeah. Season 4, Rachel, what do you think?
About it?
Yeah.
It's all a blackout of a blur, honestly.
Because of the drinking?
Because of the drinking.
Yeah.
Mostly just because we were so busy.
Yeah, I feel like
You were busy. You did nothing.
Still busy.
I don't do anything.
You did. I'm not touching the cards.
Cry so goddamn much. You didn't really, we're going to touch on it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't take part so much in the 94 stuff.
No.
You were too cool for school.
Which is upsetting because, oh shit.
Because who doesn't love 94?
Who doesn't
right?
love 94?
Yes. Evil. I mean, if I know
Evil got to
somebody
do
who
all the
loves
94.
94.
I like me some 94s.
You do? Oh, okay.
94 is the best.
It's all right. It's okay.
It's okay.
We're going to do some best ofs. We're going to do some favorites of the year, all of that sort of thing. We're going to talk about what happened in 2024. We're going to talk about deaths of 2024. We ranked the top 10 best albums of 2024. Not favorites, but best. A little bit of contention there. In fact, so much so that 3 of the albums, true story, I had Svend pick, even though
He didn't even know what he was picking.
he had never heard any of them.
Amazing.
Yes.
Also, you didn't tell him what you just said. Hey, letters.
How would you have done it?
I would have given him the names at least of the artists.
I texted him the names.
Oh.
Did those letters correspond to
Yes, that's what I was saying. Oh, like, and what did you say?
on the initial?
For those of you that don't know, which you should because you listen and love the pod, is the man behind the mask over there. That is our beloved. He's still the fan favorite. He's not even
That's
the
true.
fucking show, and he's still the fan favorite. So I'm not
It's
bitter
true.
about that at all. Mr. Svend Knutsen, director extraordinaire.
That's his hand.
There he is.
Look
There
at
he
that
is.
fancy schmancy yellow
That
watch.
seemed.
It's a little.
Give a little shocker. True story. At my real job, when we are in the booth,
Where's this going?
or we're in an exhibition. Yeah, true story. When
Where do you work?
we have a lot to do tonight. We got 2 episodes going on. It is all going to be on video. It is on YouTube, as you know, because you're watching it here. I don't know if it's going to be on the website or not. I don't know if we have time for that.
Do we have a
Mind your
website?
business. It's going to be on audio. We have a fucking website. It's the best. It's simple. It's easy.
It says under
You're
construction.
gonna learn all about it. I think what we should do, because
show you the
we've already kind of started, we got to finish it. We got to get to the most important part of the night. What are we drinking? Barenaked Ladies, but you're close.
Oh God.
We were listening to Hook yesterday, and she's like, "Man, I really like Barenaked Ladies."
It's been 1 week.
Yeah, that was great. We've got classy as shit Fireball beer. We do have martinis. We have Cosmos. We have champagne.
One cigar
Correct.
for the 3 of us.
Yes. No, there's cigars over there. There's other cigars over there. We got plenty. We got
We're
plenty.
gonna toss it around. Who gets to go
Yes.
first, though?
Hey!
Ah, there's more.
Yeah, love
I guess we don't have.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about season 4 while I get us something to drink?
Well, it was the 4th season. I know that much. I liked season 4 because it was a mix of looking back while being in the present.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love
We
that.
did our 1994 30-year retrospective,
Fuck yeah, we did.
which was both amazing and daunting at the same time.
Yes.
I was a little worried about 2024.
Only 2 flutes. I want to take this opportunity just to say for the first time, and the only time, I won't really say it again, and I haven't said it before. This was all Evil's fault.
Eh,
The 94.
Yes,
Yeah.
this was his idea.
It was a great idea. I mean, it was a lot, but it was a great idea.
Meh.
the sad thing is it's over.
That's okay.
And I wish
We
I
can visit
had,
it again in 10 years.
or tomorrow.
We could do it tomorrow. So this is what we're starting to drink, except for Rachel, who's going to drink some framboise because she hates champagne. Right now, we're drinking some Nicholas Fioletta.
Jimmy put a cigar up his nose.
I love it. I love that for him.
Just kidding. You just kidding. Ugh. That's even worse.
love
Honestly.
Hey-o.
saying like let's
Maggots.
we'll start with you.
Where was this?
You had that one in
All
your
right.
hand, and you were talking about that, and you're saying,
Okay.
"Rachel's gonna drink
Wah.
framboise."
Rambo.
Don't do that. We're gonna drink some champagne. We're also gonna drink some framboise because Rachel does not like
Frambo.
the champagne.
Wah.
Don't worry, guys, I'm back.
Say
But
Framboise.
raspberry liquor of trees,
Framboise.
I believe, is what they.
Yes.
We've got people to cheers. That's what we've got to do. The other podcasts that we worked with, being one podcast, and that was one.
Thanks.
We don't like other podcasts anymore.
Just that one.
1001 Album Complaints. They
Oh,
are
they're great.
right?
Yeah.
You've met those jabronis. Mm-hmm. Good people, right?
Very.
1001 Album Complaints.
Like-
They're fucking rad. They know their shit. There's a lot of them. They're really funny. I got to go on and talk about Outkast with them this year onto their pod, which was really, really fucking rad. They came on, or sorry, just Rob came on. You know what we talked about? It was you and me.
It was. Yeah.
You were there.
Pulp versus Gump, which was I think one of our favorite,
That was
one
just-
of my
that was
favorite
super
episodes
fun.
we've done this year.
That makes me a little
Yeah,
jealous.
comparing the soundtrack of Pulp Fiction versus Forrest Gump, which is just the most polar.
I feel like you guys did a lot without me that I feel like
well,
I.
be around more. We gotta cheers the guests is what we gotta do as well. Some really, really amazing ones actually this year. Yeah. Well, that's a little dramatic.
It's
there,
on your
Rach.
phone, though.
You're on my phone.
Get your
Yeah.
snotty cigar.
I just spilled champagne,
Idiot.
just in case you're worried about the continuity.
I was.
Guests that we had this year, which were incredible. We had this guy on that produced this little album. We'll talk more about this album later on in the episode. It's okay.
All right.
It's called Super Unknown by Soundgarden. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Meh.
His name is Michael Beinhorn. He is fucking amazing. The conversation was absolutely fantastic. He is doing a lot of stuff for indie artists, really molded with the times, understanding that you're no longer going to be able to go into a studio and spend a shit ton of money. You had a lot to do with you studied a little bit of Beinhorn.
A bit.
What were your takeaways from Super Unknown and his methods and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, that is one of my favorite albums of all time.
It is.
Yeah, so I obviously think very highly of Mr. Beinhorn and what he does.
He kind of brought some magic out in them.
Yeah.
So, shit, speaking of 1994, it's almost like we did it on purpose. Miss Louise Post, the one, the only, the Seether writer, Veruca Salt, greatest band name ever, Haver, amazing person. We did a little bit of a Veruca Salt
We did a
dive.
pre-Veruca Salt, Veruca Salt.
What were your takeaways from that?
You know, it's always interesting to see, I mean, Veruca Salt as a band put out not a lot. Seeing that come out, you know, in the 90s, and then Louise Post doing an album 30 years later.
Yeah.
And how different it is.
Sleepwalker, good album. Go check
Good
it out.
album. Very different from
Oh
Veruca
God,
Salt.
that's right. So different.
It's so different. It's interesting to see just how people evolve. You missed me.
Completely agree.
Oh, wait.
I give you your one.
Oh, you did?
You don't trust shit. Also,
Can I raise?
If you like.
along with that would be her husband, just that family in general, how amazing they are. All of the stuff that we've gotten to do with him and her and the amazing albums that they've both been coming at. Just the work that they've been putting in is just fucking incredible. You know who else I'd like to thank is basically everything that had anything to do with Tree Fort. Sven's gonna nod his head and dance rigorously from the back. Rachel, we had fun.
We had a lot of fun.
Who are your favorite people you met?
Gilda House probably was the best. They were also so talented and so kind. I mean, everybody that we came in contact with was very, very kind. It's nice to be press. Everybody's very nice to you.
It's impressive.
You can't do that yet?
I do what I want.
Okay.
Mega Cat, Gilda House, Jesus, everybody. Sorry, we're not gonna do it. Yeah, Ellis from San Fermin. My God,
Man.
Probably more on that later.
Yeah.
Everybody at Tree Fort was so incredibly amazing. God, there's such an opportunity there that I hope that people keep going to and figuring out, because I feel like that is we've talked about this. That is a venue that is ripe for helping out artists and helping them help themselves.
Right.
And I feel like there's stuff missing there that we could fucking like. Who do you want to thank?
You fuckers.
Nobody. Fuck them all.
I like you guys a lot. So
We're hot.
I just beat the shit out of you.
Ew, man. Ooh, full house of Majama.
Aces and eights.
Oh.
I got into
Goodness.
Purdue and then got stressed, and the first thing I dropped
And then you're like,
was
don't. Purdue
and not
and not the
not the
podcast.
podcast.
She was like, I've got too much going on.
Yeah.
I need to quit school instead of podcasts.
Which just shows you, and it wasn't even like, it was not even a second thought. I was just like, I'm too stressed. School's out. Because I love this and I get so much joy out of this. It is work, you know, you're kind of a hard boss to work for sometimes, a little demanding. But it's a good time.
Evil,
Yes.
who do you want to thank?
Besides myself.
Yes, besides
I
yourself.
want to thank
No, you can thank
myself.
us. You can thank yourself.
I like you guys.
We're all right.
I want to thank Megan for letting me.
She's all right.
She is amazing.
You are just like the woman crush.
I have the latest crush
Yeah.
on Megan.
I want to thank my neighbor Tyler for into the podcast.
He's a good man.
Tyler's a rag.
Would like to thank.
You don't have to thank him.
Johnny
because
Vinyl?
Coheed and Cambria is thanking him for you.
Yeah, they are. Johnny Vinyl.
Johnny Vinyl.
Another friend of the podcast.
Fuck yeah, man. Johnny
Mark?
Vinyl.
Always
Well,
Mark.
come on. Come on, Mark.
We need
Obviously.
the witness over here.
Yeah.
I would like to thank
Halen.
Well, of course.
I feel like he's been supporting the pod since.
my new pup, Halen, and Hattie.
Halen has added a whole new depth to my editing process.
Halen is a fucker. I wouldn't have him any other way.
Yes.
I want to thank artists who made albums in 1994.
Good God.
Yeah. They did some nice work.
They're
Hold
like good and
All
shit
right.
at music. That's the obvious thank you is the listeners, to the listeners. You're growing every year, which makes us incredibly happy. It's slow, but it's steady. And that's all I want in life, to do
Wins
this
the
pod
race.
for 7 more people a day. Multiply it by whatever and you get whatever, right?
Mike
Those are our
Krieger.
thank yous. We got to actually cheers everybody. To everybody we just talked about.
Yeah.
Clinky, clinky. And,
And
of course,
more.
to you two
Aw.
and to the guy behind the camera. You're my
Yeah.
best friends, and I hope I get to do this until the day I die when I'm 44. We love you. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Hold the phone, hit the hip, cheek to cheek. Push me away like I'm Lucifer, so to speak. My focus is on the cold, cold button.
Just roughly. It's 2024, quite the year in metal. We started early, February 16th, with Ashan. If you don't know Ashan, you should know Ashan. Listen to some Emperor, get familiar with it. That he released a self-titled album, blending a lot of that black metal goodness from his earlier career with some like orchestral arrangements, really good stuff. Next up, Job for a Cowboy. I was super excited for this album. A band that like progressed greatly from their like really deathcore debut into some like much more complex compositions and musicianship. Next up, longtime stalwarts, Judas Priest. A band that old should not be as good as they are. Well, they did kind of mix out some older members with newer members, but I'll take it because fucking A, one of my favorite albums in the traditional metal genre, I guess you could say. We roll into High on Fire, doing what High on Fire does best. Sludgy metal, fucking rips for days. And then we come to an album that really surprised me. It is Thou's Umbilical, maybe one of my favorite metal albums of the whole year. Next up, Ulcerate, some Aussie, like progressive technical death metal fucking wizards. Released their album, a little on the nose, Cutting the Throat of God. On August 23rd, we had 2 albums that came out. Zeal and Ardor's Grief, which for me, I've been a big fan of Zeal and Ardor since their debut. I love the exercise and blending the spirituals with the black metal. I like the whole thing that they're doing. This, their 4th album, they actually are kind of starting to branch out a little bit more. I think when you're a gadget band like they are from their inception, you need to at some point start doing new things to stay relevant. I think they're trying that. I can't tell if I like this album or not. Also, on the same day, Nile released an album with one of the greatest song titles of all time. Track number 2, Chapter, for not being hung upside down on a stake in the underworld and made to eat feces by the 4 apes. That's fucking metal. And then we come upon an album that is not just being talked about as the best metal album of the year, but is being put at or near the top of like best album of the year, and it is Blood Incantation's Absolute Elsewhere. If you don't listen to any other album that I'm talking about in this little segment here, go listen to that one, because if you have the stomach for it and you can persevere, it will blow your fucking mind. Of course, Devin Townsend is going to release an album because Devin Townsend just records, and that's what he does. He just records and puts out music every fucking year. Power Nerd, it is classic Devin Townsend. If you like Heavy Devi, you're going to like Power Nerd. And then I'm going to end this with a band that if you're a metalhead, you're no stranger to, and that is Opeth's The Last Will and Testament. Full disclosure, I have not had the time to give this the go that it needs. Opeth is, you just have to sit and digest it. I know it's going to be a good album. Super excited to be able to dig into it and just kind of listen to it and enjoy Opeth. without the pressure of having to study for a whole bunch of, stuff. So Merry Christmas to me. And that's what I'm going to be doing in the next few weeks. So there's your 2024, 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 2 hours, two whatever of metal.
We are back. Let's get into the season 4 finale. We start with the sad stuff. We start with Prominent Death, the metal band name. We don't have as many deaths this time. A, not enough people died. And B, honestly, it's not that fun doing like 15 fucking deaths. So
Yeah.
I think we stick with 3. I'm good
worked
with
out
3.
good.
Are you good with the 3?
I can't say top 10 deaths in 2024.
Oh.
Top 3! I guess I'll start it, huh?
Yeah.
You better.
With Mr. Albini, the producer of the 2 greatest alternative albums of all time in Utero and Surfer Rosa. Come on. He was born in Missoula. I am convinced that's why he's a badass. He is
Wow.
He is Mr. Analog. He was the one that came in and was like, you know what we do is we do this dirty and we do this cheap. And guess what? It's going to sound fucking amazing. That was Steve Albini. And that's why he was amazing, is because he went, we were talking about like the fucking Linkin Park. Everything is just so perfect. Everything is just so
Quantized,
Yes.
crystalline. And
like it is just the and he came in and said, no,
Fuck that.
that's what we don't want. I have a quote from him being skeptical of digital manipulation, saying, I don't understand where the impulse comes from to make a record that doesn't have any relationship to the sound of the real band. That seems crazy for me. In Utero, recorded in his own studio. I don't know if you know of this band Nirvana. They're kind of big. They kind of did pretty well. I keep looking into this camera. I'm sorry. Let's read off the bands that he worked with. It's not a big deal. Pixies, Hum, Superchunk, Urge Overkill, John Spencer Blues Explosion, Helmet, Fugazi, PJ Harvey, The Breeders, Bush, Guided by Voices, Veruca Salt, Cheap Trick, Chevelle, Flogging Molly, Scott Weiland, and like fucking hundreds of others. Jesus. When he died, it was a kind of a big deal this year. Like nobody talked about Steve Albini, but when he passed away, everybody's like, holy fuck.
Right. There is an album that will come up a few times later that is a band that we've talked about this year.
Nirvana? No. JK.
Bush?
No, a newer band who I feel like Steve Albini and this band would have been such a good combination.
I love it. I love it. That's Albini. I got the good one. Now we go to the shitty. Just kidding.
That's not
No,
true at
these
all.
Are, yeah, no. We
What?
got
These are the top 3.
These are no, they are, and they are there for a reason. And we're gonna go over to Evil, who gets to talk about one of the most badasses that ever badass.
Shifty Shell Shock.
Shifty Shell Shock.
I feel bad for saying that because he did die this year. Goodbye, Shifty Shell Shock. We're going to talk about.
Come, my lady.
We're going to talk about Mr. Chris Christopherson. So, born in 1936, started young as a soldier and a Rhodes Scholar.
Ooh,
Right?
I don't know that I knew
He was
that.
a fucking
He was
genius.
a Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah,
Before
That's awesome.
working as a janitor.
he went to Oxford.
Yeah. So he was working as a janitor at Columbia Studios when he got his break.
Fucking crazy.
Dude has a wild
That's very Goodwill
life.
Hunting of him.
I thought
And
the
then
same
he was
thing.
all like, "How do you like them
And
apples?"
he's just like, I'm just going to start writing hit songs for all the most badass motherfuckers out there.
I am a cowboy now. Yeah.
Me and Bobby McGee, Joplin,
Yeah.
Sunday
that's
Morning
a good
Coming Down,
Come on, man.
Cash, of course, for Help Me Make It Through the Night, which he released himself. Also, Anne Murray recorded it. Willie Nelson recorded it. Special place in my heart because he has strong ties to like outlaw country, which is what my dad listened to.
He was one of the founding 4.
One of the Highwaymen
Yeah.
with Cash, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, ultimate badass. Haven't even talked about his acting career or any of that yet.
Blade.
Released over a dozen albums. I have that in here. The Silver Tongued Devil, obviously Christopherson, 1970. Jesus Was a Capricorn. Starred in films like A Star Is Born, the
Oh, the original.
Original with
Ah,
Streisand.
that's right. That's
Yep.
right. Oh man,
Played Billy the Kid.
I know him.
Yeah, you know him a little
good
bit.
guy.
I know him well. And also, like you said, he was the iconic Abraham Whistler in the Blade series, which is fucking badass. Super smart, very, very humble human being. Lived a great life, man.
He boxed and played rugby in Oxford
Holy shit.
while being
a Rhodes
while
Scholar.
getting a philosophy degree at Oxford
nothing.
and being a Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah, he's a chump.
Oh, and then by the way, I'm a cowboy.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Passed away September 28, 2024. At the age of 88, lived a
That's a good
fucking
life.
solid life. R.I.P. Mr. Christopherson.
Did you hear about how he got Johnny Cash to use his songs?
No.
He flew a fucking helicopter onto his yard. He flew a helicopter onto Johnny Cash's yard and got out and went to Johnny Cash and said, "I wrote these songs for you. Will you sing these songs?"
And he's like, get off my lawn.
Johnny Cash was like,
Yes, sir.
"Yes, I will." He also worked on an oil rig. Like the guy was a
Dude,
fucking,
yeah, he was a
Didn't
was
he
the
do?
baddest of the asses.
Yeah.
And that's Chris Christopherson.
Christopherson.
Rachel,
David.
I want you to start us something. You're gonna start us something. Anytime.
Please hold.
You know his name without
I
the lyrics,
have
right?
Quincy Delight Jones Jr.
Did you say delight?
Delight.
No.
I'm not kidding.
For real?
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's
Who knew?
made up.
Who
Those are
knew?
made up words, Jim.
I'm just making shit up now. Quincy Jones, Symphony of Innovation, the gentleman, artistry, legacy. He helped shape the world of music over 7 decades. Like thinking about a black man coming, 1933 is when he was born, what he lived through, and the innovation.
History like rife with slavery in Tennessee and shit.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Yeah.
He started playing trumpet and then he ended up winning 28 Grammys.
28 fucking Grammys. That's in the last episode, our What is Music, where Svend, Evil, Rachel, and I, we all sat down. You just watched it, and we talked about what success is in music, and we tried to pretend like it's a bunch of other bullshit. It's money and Grammys, and Quincy
Yeah.
Jones has all of them.
I mean, it really does show that you have done a good job. I mean, obviously there are people that don't win them, but you know, when you do a good job, you just get 28.
One of those people. I have not
Master
won a
of
Grammy.
trades, composer, arranger, producer, visionary from jazz, film, pop, soundtracks. He left no musical stone unturned. He did all of the things. He collaborated.
I didn't realize that he arranged for.
Yeah.
He played. So he in his start he played with Lionel Hampton, which you don't get any better than that.
Yeah.
And then he arranged for like fucking Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, Count Basie. Like,
Yeah. Like-
I didn't realize how much his career was before.
And the range of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you hit the jazz. It was Michael Jackson. He did Off
Doesn't
the
ring a
Wall.
bell.
He did Thriller. He did Bad. Like he.
Well, and I love that he was basically like, I am going to do pop and I'm going to make the perfect album.
Right. 3 times. He also did The Color Purple in the Heat of the Night.
Oh, he did. He did a bunch of scores and shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
He did.
That's right.
He composed on 34 films.
Oh,
Quincy
Yes.
Jones.
Amongst all of the other stuff that he did, he was also very philanthropic. He was an activist. He was a big advocate of education, social justice, obviously, because of when he grew up, cultural diplomacy, humanitarian causes. He was so much more than just a musician. He was a storyteller, a unifier. Like he did so much. He died on the 3rd of November, just fairly recently, at the age of 91. He lived a good life of pancreatic cancer, which is very sad. But he will be remembered as an architect of sound,
I think
bridge builder.
I think he will be mostly remembered as the ongoing running joke in Arrested Development. No?
No,
Should we go to the defining stories of 2024?
let's do that.
Break out the Johnson and Johnson, because we.
Oh, Jesus.
amazing.
Oh,
Wowzers.
is Diddy officially a verb?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think he is.
Might as well at this point.
And an adjective.
What was really funny is we were kind of like, what the fuck are we going to talk about this year?
And then
And then, oh, no, we're good.
Come in.
We've got. That's 7 episodes worth of shit. Let's talk about Diddy.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
All right. So what I am going to talk about here, what I'm going to give you a little recap of, all the things that have nothing to do with what just happened. I'm going to talk about all the things that happened before all of this I didn't know about, and that how did nothing ever happen to this guy. So 1991, he hosted a New York City basketball event where there was a capacity of like 2,500 people. They let 5,000 people in. People started breaking the windows to get in. 9 people died and 29 people were injured in this fucking thing. Combs was sued for the next 9 years for being at fault for not hiring proper event security. 1995, Jake Robles of Death Row Records is shot to death in Atlanta at a party that both Suge Knight and Diddy are at. Eyewitnesses say that someone in Diddy's party shot him while getting into a car with Suge. So, I mean, maybe, who knows? Diddy denies being involved, of course. In 1998, Diddy and 2 of his henchmen barge into Steve Stout's office and beat the shit out of him with a champagne bottle over a disagreement on a specific part in the Hate Me Now music video. In 1999, in a club in New York, Diddy gets in an argument with another guy who throws a drink in his face. At the time, 3 people drew guns and 3 people were shot. Combs was somehow the only person that was acquitted on all charges of all of these shootings. Shine, the guy that he was in a fight with, was shot 3 times and got 10 years. So that's cool. And then from 2013 to 2016, there are just a shit ton of allegations that he's starting fights with younger rappers, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Drake, which seems like it was
Fully endorse.
Yeah, I do. I'm totally into beating the shit out of Drake. I'm cool with that. And then 2019 happens, and the X comes forward. September 17th, charges of sex trafficking by force, racketeering, conspiracy, fraud, coercion, transporting of prostitution. Since November, prosecutors in New York have been working on a case against him after Cassandra Ventura had accused him of assault and abuse.
Right.
He is in prison. He's going to be in prison. I don't know how many counts.
I can't count that high.
Ayo.
Oof.
You have fun, kind of like me, in reading about things like this.
I know.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on?
Well, at the end of the day, I want to know, did he or didn't he?
Fucking Christ!
Oh my God.
This is what
Come on, man. It is. You're reading like the stuff that's like publicly confirmed.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like, when you start like getting into the weeds, which I like the weeds.
because that's
I love
fun.
the
It's
weeds.
fun.
Yeah.
It is
The lawyer saying like, you guys have no idea
Yeah.
who's on.
This is the tip of
who
the
is
iceberg.
at these little Diddy parties.
or just like the strange interactions that are public.
Yeah.
Like there's no party like a Diddy party. How many celebrities are on the record saying that?
Right.
Yeah.
Or like Ellen's weird McSnuggly puff,
Oh,
whatever
fuck,
bullshit,
yeah,
and
that
then
was
she
so weird.
flees the country.
Yeah.
Or like the weird pat down of Justin Bieber, like he's wearing a wire, like checking to see if he's wearing. I'm like, what the fuck? Super gross. But I am entertained.
Yeah.
I just feel like you're at these parties, you know what's going on. Why would you ever say on camera, that guy can throw a party? You have to know eventually, like, somebody's going to talk to somebody and somebody's going to.
I want each of you to answer this. How many is a lot? Like, what number would you say is a lot
1.
of bottles of baby oil?
I think 2 is pretty sufficient.
I think if you have,
Like if you have more than 1,
like, maybe one upstairs, one downstairs,
even then,
that seems like too much.
what
still.
are you doing with baby oil? If it was the 80s, trying to get a tan on or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or if you have a baby.
If you're evil and you got a fucking weightlifting
Jack to
competition.
tan, baby. But
Yeah.
1,000?
No.
That just doesn't even, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would anyone, even in that big of a house.
It doesn't.
Need 1,000.
When Kanye is calling you a Fed,
That's enough of Diddy.
Also, he's never coming out of prison.
No. It is really
He's
fun,
been
though.
denied bail so many times. Apparently, he's been trying to threaten people while inside jail.
imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that.
So,
Seems unlike him.
Guys,
yes.
Oasis is going on tour. OMG.
Yo.
Are you so excited?
I am so excited. Huge Oasis fan. Here's the thing. I don't know that it's going to, like, those boys,
Yeah.
it's going to end in fisticuffs. Like, they're not going to, I don't
Well,
think
all
it's
the
going to.
jokes of.
I think it'll be
the
like.
breaking up before.
Exactly. They'll get like a couple stops in, maybe. They'll get in some sort of fight, and then it'll be over.
Should I read a little bit about what makes Oasis Oasis?
Yeah.
Little wannabe Lennon and wannabe McCartney. In 1996, Oasis signed up and took the money for MTV Unplugged. Liam showed up for about 2 rehearsals and pulled out at the very last second because his pussy ass had a sore throat.
Understandable.
Yeah, you are no Lennon, motherfucker. Noel still played the show by himself and fucking killed it in his defense. Liam stayed for the whole fucking Unplugged concert and heckled him. That is the most Oasis story in the fucking history of the fucking world.
That's amazing.
I mean, these are the guys that people are lining up. I don't fucking get it. And maybe we can tie this into the 94 stuff. It's 94. People hold that album in the regards of the Blue Album and
Right.
fucking Super Unknown. And I don't get it. And I don't think that I know that I'm not. I know that you don't think so. I know some of the listeners do.
Growing up with it, like we were so entrenched in Oasis, like you could not get away from it. Like that's why it seems like it's such a popular thing. Like it's a popular thing. It's not a good thing. It's not great. It's just.
I love it.
I stand by what I've said before, and will say again. Not a huge fan of their music, but I really like them as people.
Really love them as people. This is from the BBC. When Oasis UK dates went on sale, some fans were charged more than €350 for tickets with an initial face value of €150. The band faced significant backlash, and the UK's competition regulator launched an investigation into whether Ticketmaster breached
Fucking
consumer
Ticketmaster.
protection law. Now, in Oasis's defense, they said that they were going to keep scalpers from gouging customers before that, which they absolutely didn't. So good job, Oasis. Any of you study anything about the fact that live concerts, once again, are steeply in decline?
I feel like there's so many reasons that could be, and that's Ticketmaster. Like people don't want to be fucked over. People don't want to sign up for $100 ticket and then have to pay $400 or $500 for it.
People aren't going to shows.
It's expensive, and it's just
People can't afford flights.
people can't afford flights. People can't afford groceries.
Musicians can't afford to ship their shit anywhere. Fucking venues are making zero money. Let's see. Bright Eyes canceled the remainder of their 2024 tour because of vocal issues. Childish Gambino canceled his tour to take time to heal.
I
Yeah,
had
know,
tickets for that.
You were supposed
I
to
had
go.
front row fucking tickets for that.
Lauryn Hill and the Fugees 2024 tour canceled.
J-Lo.
Widespread panic. The band canceled the remaining tour dates after Jimmy Herring was diagnosed with terminal cancer. So,
Well,
Yeah, they get a little pass on that one.
yeah. Garbage. Band cancels. Shirley Manson prepares for surgery. Helmet. Local H. The Arms. Sexy Red. Canceled due to low ticket sales and financial concerns. Desert Days, Sierra Nevada World Music Festival, Kickoff Jam, Blue Ridge, Sudden Little all these festivals were canceled.
yeah. Coachella, even I read a thing today was saying those tickets sell out like
Coachella?
fucking fast. This year, they're still not sold out.
Because fuck Coachella.
Because fuck Coachella, but
Yeah.
it's so goddamn expensive.
This is incredibly interesting. This was reportedly the worst year for grassroots music venues. 2024, this is according to the Music Venue Trust. 125 small music venues permanently closed and another 365 report financial losses. This is in London. alone, 365 report financial losses. While the industry contributed to 501 million to the British economy, the sector's expenditures were 498 million. Meaning the grassroots live music industry in the UK is operating at a net profit margin of 0.5%. That's, I don't know if any of you are in sales or do a lot of P&L. That's not great. That's not very good. Razor thin margins mean smaller venues are forced to sell out their shows, limiting the ability of artists with a proper following to perform. Corporations that account for an estimated 51.8% of total live entertainment revenue, Live Nation, reported a 36% increase in revenue and 90% increase in net profits, up to 22.7 billion for Live Nation. So
Where's the money going?
Live Nation is doing great.
Yeah.
Everybody. Last thing we'll talk about, vinyl. Is it trending upward or downward?
The statistics that I found is that they are trending up, and from last year have increased 6%. That is the statistic that I ran into.
So you did find increase.
Yeah, 6%.
6% is not big.
It's not huge. It's still increasing, and that's great. But that is probably like entirely due to Taylor Swift. Like it's the people that are selling, like a couple people that are selling a shit ton of vinyl that are increasing that. I don't think it's gotten more popular
Luminate.
outside of for you. Jimmy is buying a lot of vinyl.
Luminate, who publishes vinyl statistical data, showed a 33% decline in 2024 vinyl sales. This, up until last year, has gone off of independent store data. It was some tech guy that saw, I don't have his name on here, that saw shipping was up, but they were reporting that sales were down. This is what it turns out to be. Vinyl is going up in percentage so much. They're basically having to change the way that it's being reported because they've always gone off of indie stores. So all of the data that they're picking off from are indie.
So they're not pulling from like Target, Walmart that are carrying all these.
Exactly. So that's what's fascinating, is that vinyl has gone up so much that we have no fucking clue how much it's gone up, because Walmart and Target and now Discogs is a fucking behemoth.
Yeah.
And all of these independent, even like Third Man Records is fucking massive now.
That's interesting because, I mean, those places have been selling vinyl for years, before it was as popular as it is today.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that they never counted that.
But you do go to like Target now, and
Sure.
where there were 4 albums, now there's fucking
of
rack
course.
of vinyl.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I like it though.
And there's also so many artists that are like
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
exclusive to a store. Like you can
Or-
get this
or
copy of this
get
album.
the red variation. at
Exactly.
Target.
But only at Target.
We got one more thing to do. We'll take a little bit of a break. Hey, thanks. Oh, the downloads. Okay. This one's easy, everybody. Let's do it. Top 10 highest download list albums on Spotify this year. These are simple. Have you heard it? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Very simple. Sven, I'm gonna have you chime in too. Number 10, it is Next by Xavi. Xavi. Rachel, have you heard it? Do you like it?
I've never heard of it.
I think I've heard it, but I can't place it.
You can't police
Sounds
it.
I
familiar.
can't police or place it.
And we got a no-go from me
Shrug
and
from-
Sven.
It sounds vaguely familiar, but vaguely.
The album is Exodo by Peso Pluma. Rachel, have you heard it? Do you like it?
I have not heard it or
Don't lie.
Yep.
Don't lie. Nobody's heard it.
nobody's heard it.
Artificial Paradise by One Republic.
Really?
I've heard of One Republic.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they
Have you heard this?
put out.
No.
Why would I listen to
How
One
do we-
Republic?
Mediocre by Sven Knutsen. That is the review. Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande.
I have heard it. I don't care for her music. I think she's a very good vocalist, but music I don't really care for that much. It's the same as everything else that she's ever put out.
New King by Jason Derulo. Do you know Jason Derulo?
Derulo.
But I don't know that.
I don't know
course I
Jason
do.
Derulo.
Yeah.
You don't know Jason
You
Derulo?
do?
I didn't know he put out an album.
Oh, gonna around the world.
He dances
But
very well.
Fireworks and Rollerblades by Benson Boone.
I have not heard all of that, but he is We were literally just listening. That's the Walk Off the Earth. Yeah, fabulous. He is amazing. Can
Is
fuck
he?
off. Yeah, he's very, very,
know
very
Benson Boone?
talented. He's very powerful.
He's
but
powerful.
powerful vocally, like very. Ugh, but I haven't heard the entire album.
You
can do it.
No, I actually
you
don't.
summer in
So,
France?
this is not French.
Oh, sorry.
La Mujer Ya no Lloran by Shakira.
Don't do it that way.
La
Shakira.
Mujeres Ya
Yes.
no Lauren
May I?
by Shakira.
I just kinda wanna-
Just stop. Don't be better than me.
I don't.
You think you're better than me?
Kinda.
You hear Shakira?
Sometimes.
Kind of.
Shakira.
But I haven't heard this one. I've heard of Shakira. I'm familiar.
You love
with
Shakira.
Shakira. Yeah, I have a pop
Love it so much you say it twice.
pop doll.
You've never heard it.
Not that. I've heard Shakira.
Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, I've heard it. I enjoy it. It's fine.
You
It's
sure
good.
do.
It's
We
challenging.
love it, personally. Did you say it's challenging?
Is Eve into Sabrina?
Not that I know of.
God, I hope not.
Eve has better taste than that.
I love it. Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish.
Love it.
Yes.
We all know Billie
all know
Eilish.
Billie
We all know
Eilish.
Hit Me Hard and Soft. I'm sure she's going to come up later. And of course, the one, the only, Dead Poets Society by Taylor Swift.
I've heard it.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. Hey, let's take a break.
Popeye.
Let's be right back. All right.
Let's bang some stuff.
Banger, banger.
Nobody gonna break my stride. Oh no. Oh boy. All right, so you jabronis, we talk to each other, what albums we're going to listen to, why didn't you get to this year, that sort of thing. That's what we're going to talk about right now. First off, I'm going to talk about the two big elephants in the room that we just didn't have time for, and that is Father John Misty. Just came out. Okay, we're recording this in November. I've gotten to listen to it a little bit. Full transparency, I've listened to it enough to where if it was going to be on my top 5 favorites, it would be. I know that's kind of weird because it is an incredible album, but there's something about it that just, incredible songs. I don't know, there's something they're missing. And then Kendrick Lamar, of course, the new Kendrick Lamar that came out of fucking nowhere, right? There's something about Kendrick Lamar's new album that I love the Drake stuff. I love what he's done all year. It's been an incredible year for him, but there's somebody once said, you can only watch somebody do a victory lap for so long. Let's just be over it, right? I have my Okay, You Were Right, Jubilee Diamond album, stuff like that, where the jazz is just funky, jazzy. It's way too fucking long. But stuff like that is really fucking awesome. Charles Lloyd, he also came out with a fucking fantastic jazz album. Really, really incredible. If you get a chance to listen to that, listen to it. Here's my, if you haven't heard it, and you probably haven't, you need to. Bubba Doobie it's very poppy, but her guitar playing is incredible, and it's super weird. She's actually getting a lot of play on the guitar stuff. It's really cool, the traction that she's getting. Madhu Mokhtar is a Nigerian quartet, kind of punky, kind of like Middle Eastern, also Eastern European punky, really fucking cool stuff. English teacher is super beautiful. Her lyrics, her vocals, really, really great, right? Kind of twisted, but just enough to where it's not creepy, but it's a little bit creepy. I really love that. I also have our I Don't Get It shit. I've got our Wahahachi stuff. That has been called like Album of the Year. That's been called Album of the Decade. People are going fucking crazy for that shit. I don't understand it. I'm not saying it's bad, it's not. People are flipping out over this, and maybe that's just a me thing. I don't get it. Adrian Lanker, Big Thief. I mean, that has been another one of those, this is an Album of the Year thing. I feel like 2000s, when all these like pop punk things started coming up and everybody sounded exactly the same, there's this like West Virginia folk pop thing that's happening now, and the Big Thief types that are huge. This is another one of those, the Adrian Lanker. It's great. It sounds beautiful, but it's the same fucking thing that keeps coming out. There is the love it, but probably won't listen to it again. Kim Gordon, Sonic Youth Zone. She came out with her own album this year. Super industrial, minimalist, eerie, fucking cool shit. Maybe I will. Maybe it's really good.
And then there are the albums that I want to like and I should like, but I don't. Fontaines DC, that's a huge one. I thought Fontaines DC, the Romance album, was gonna be huge for me. I thought I was gonna be super into it. There's a couple songs that I absolutely love. The album just didn't do it for me. It's good. It's like young kids that were super into Oasis and Blur at the same time, which how is that gonna go wrong? That's cool as shit. And then last but not least, in the I should like this and I don't, A Meal in the Sniffers. A Meal in the Sniffers has been everywhere lately because why not? It's super punk, it's super, I Hate You, I Love Me, that old school punk vibe. It's a little bit pop punk, and she's got a great punk voice and everything like that, but there's something about it that's keeping me from being super into it. That's it. The only other ones that I would say from this year that I would harp on you all, and I have this year, is Gilda House and Sunblood Stories. Get into those. Go listen to them. Sunblood Stories had an album this year that's really, really fucking great. Gilda House, as we did in our Treefort coverage. I listen to them, you guys. I listen to them all. I try as much as I can. Those are my opinions. It's fucking freezing as balls out here. I'm going back in.
1, 2, 3, swallow the key. In that footprint, I will follow. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary business. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary business. I'm gonna
We are back. We got another thing to do, girl.
I want all of them.
He wants 4 cards.
Girl, same.
Yeah, 4 cards, girl. We've got some listener questions.
Did no favors.
I appreciate everybody's questions this year. They were awesome. I only kept 3 because a lot of them are already asked when I wanted
Already asked.
in previous years.
Oh, I got you.
Here we go. Here, let's do question number 1. This is from Maggie in
Rogers?
Yeah. In
Simpson?
I apologize, Maggie. Geraldton, I hope. Geraldton. I can't even fucking.
I think it's Geraldton.
It's Australia,
Oh.
so
You have to say it with an accent
nice
then.
I like. Thanks for mansplaining it to me. What do you do when you aren't in the mood to listen to something for the podcast? That's a good question.
Push through, because you don't have a choice.
Quit. It's funny because it's true.
Oh man, it is hard sometimes.
Ooh, that's what she said.
There are days where I'm just like, I just want to listen to music I want to listen to.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
you've made that very clear.
It's
this year.
hard. I complain. I vocalize
Yeah.
my
I like it.
disdain.
I'm okay with it.
I do feel like very often I mean, I guess when we're doing like a dissection of an entire band, we have to listen to that band. Well, you don't have to listen to a specific album. I feel like within each episode, there's often like our Halloween episode, like I don't want to watch Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm going to watch one of the other ones. You know what I mean?
Dare you.
Like you can, I'm going to watch Deathgasm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Gasm. A trick that I play is like often if I'm listening to something that I'm not really into in that environment, if I
switch it up.
listen to it somewhere, like if I'm like listening to it while I'm working and I'm just like, I can't do
Yeah,
this, then I'll try to
yeah.
listen to it while I'm on a walk or in the car. Different environments make a huge difference.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Make an enormous difference.
You're so right.
Because often something that I listen to in one environment and hate, I'll like really vibe with in one of those other ways of listening, or headphones versus ambient,
Yeah.
vice versa. Some stuff is just like awesome as background music, but I put headphones on. I'm like, I fucking can't stand this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's mixing, like deliberately mixing things up, I think is.
No, it's true.
is
Like
key.
I'll listen to an album on a jog in the morning and be like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But then I'll try it again like 3 days later. I'll be like, look, I have to,
Yep.
you got to give it a shot. And I'll listen to it at work. And I'm like, oh, wait,
Isn't bad.
this isn't bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Times of day also makes a big difference.
do you ever just like give up and just not listen to something?
I just push through
You do?
a lot of the time. I reward myself with candy a lot of the time. Like if I'm like, if you listen to this one song, you can have 3 M&Ms. Next song, another 3
So
M&Ms.
this is making
Pathetic?
it forward.
This is 1,000% true.
How many candies did the Nile song?
Yeah.
You listen to
When an
this
evil-
line, you get one candy.
When an evil album comes on, how much candy do you have in front of you?
Just rappers everywhere.
Maggie, look, trying to listen to something when you're just not feeling it, it's different for me, I think, because I start studying way earlier than I would think that these two do.
Clearly.
So I have a
don't know
lot
about
more
that.
room. I have a lot more room to be like, look, I'm not
Gonna do that today.
Yeah, let's wait for 5 days.
Yeah.
And then, so I don't really have that problem.
Maybe that's why I push through, because it's like, oh, I got
Yeah.
18 hours.
15 minutes. Yeah. One of the things, and I know it's a pain in the ass, but one of the things that I think we all love about the pod over the past 4 years, the amount of music that we would have never fucking heard.
100%.
Like,
There's so much.
if it wasn't for this podcast, probably at least 4 out of 5 of my favorite albums this year, I would have never fucking even heard.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah. Same.
Good question, Maggie. Good question. Should we do another one?
Yeah.
From Kev Dog in Jersey.
Kev.
This is great. This is fucking great. I have a crush on my next door neighbor. How do I handle this?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I want more details.
Right?
I have to
Yeah.
think about this. Yeah, because there's
Oh.
so many ways to go about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you also have to be super careful because
It's your neighbor.
that's her safe zone. Like you can't be like knocking on the door and being like, "Hey, can I have some cream?"
That's actually what I was going to exactly ask.
You can't
Just be
do
like,
that.
hey, I can't find my hammer. And I was going to do a thing. I was going to hammer something. Maybe that's a bad example. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to think of what dudes need to borrow from people.
A hammer.
Like, it's not like a cup of sugar, right?
I feel like you have to be so careful because that's her safe space.
Yeah.
It's her fucking house.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you have to.
Is it, in my head, it's neighbor, like, apartment, I guess.
That's what I'm envisioning.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay.
But I'm thinking like you've got to be.
You have to be the center of interest at that point to like pull the neighbor out of the neighbor's safe zone environment to engage with
Yeah.
you. There's a quote that I love. It's like
Chop wood and carry water.
yes,
Idiots.
shirtless wood chopping will
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
become undeniable. Do something interesting or become interesting. It doesn't have to be doing something.
But you need to, like, how
Yeah.
does he get some FaceTime?
You got to be there. You always got to be outside
Yeah.
at wherever you are.
Like checking the mail,
Yeah.
walking your dog.
Yeah. But you.
But don't just stare out the window until she leaves and comes out and like stare at her.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
If you have to go, you got to do it. You got to do it.
That's my biggest thing when I remember when I first read that is my biggest thing is you have to be so careful with this because you always have to
Yeah.
remember that that's her home. That's her
What
safe
if it's
space.
his
Like,
home?
Well, it's both of their homes, but you have to, you got to be.
It's the 90s.
I don't
Like a guy neighbor.
Oh, because like he's gay?
I'm just saying. You keep saying
Same
her.
rules
It could
apply.
be.
Good
It could
point.
be.
Same rules apply.
Same rules apply.
Is it? I feel like guys feel safer than girls feel. I feel like girls
that
all
was
the time.
sexist.
It's not.
The next door neighbor thing is tough.
I just say
Yeah.
get some FaceTime. If she sees you and likes you, I
It
feel
really
like
depends.
it's
You know,
obvious.
it depends on what it's such a huge difference if it's a house or an apartment.
Yeah.
'Cause if it's an
Sure.
apartment, if it's a house, you could just be out on your fucking deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can come and talk.
Yeah, talk.
No.
No.
No what?
Like, don't do it.
Don't do it.
anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't do anything.
Same policy as like someone at work.
Don't shit where you eat.
Yeah. That's
don't
we
bang
never
where
even
you hang.
we didn't even think about that, Svend. You're a genius.
Like, what
'cause
if it goes
what
bad?
if it goes great for that one night and then she's psycho and then you are next door? Oh, that is no brainer. That's a no-go.
Maybe she's not crazy.
But what if she is? You
Maybe
live
he's
th-
crazy.
You live there.
Kev dog.
I mean, Kevin Jersey is probably a little.
Just kidding. He's
Oh,
probably
man.
fine.
This is way more complicated than I expected.
I think
I just
I
need
think
more
Sven is
details.
absolutely right. I think you can't do it.
I don't know. Because
That's
what
your
if she
fucking
likes
house.
him too, or they like him too, and they're just waiting for him to make a move.
Kev, we are not helping you
Yeah.
at all. We are.
Terrible.
This is a good
We're
man.
just talking in circles.
You only live once, but man, you live there, dude. If that goes wrong, you're totally fucked.
I feel like if it's an apartment situation, it's more okay to do it than if it was a house. Because if it's a house, like that's your house. Like unless you're both renting can bounce.
What phase of life are you at?
Also, how old is
Good
Kevin?
question, too.
Yeah.
If you're like in
How old are you,
college
Kev?
and you're in an apartment and you're only going to be there
You're gone in 6
Exactly.
months.
I feel
Yeah.
like apartments, people are there for a couple years sometimes.
This is your permanent residence?
Such sign language for hit it and quit it, right?
How much baby oil does he have?
I love it. Kevin, we need so many more fucking details
Too
on
many
this, my
variables.
man.
Too many variables.
Let's have you on next year. Let's do it. Let's
that
talk.
could be fun.
Yeah, let's
Come on,
have
Kevin.
We can
Kev from New
strategize.
Jersey. Let's help out Corn.
I feel like that will be good for all bullshitting.
Be good for all.
That's
Kim from Seattle.
that's where
All
you live.
that punk, and you didn't say who your current favorite punk band is, and also who your favorite punk band of all time. She's right. We talked punk.
Didn't we talk top artists?
I feel like listeners know my favorite punk band.
It's no effects.
I got the tattoo. My favorite punk band with a bullet, not even close, is Bad
Bad
Religion.
Religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you
Yeah.
that.
Favorite current. I mean, Bad Religion is current, but Bad
mean-
Religion fans, let's be honest with ourselves. You know.
I don't really listen to new punk.
Well, what is new punk? Like,
I would say like made in the
See,
last 20 years.
For me, it's like veered in towards like hardcore punk, like because obviously
oh, fucking Soul Glow. Soul Glow, baby.
currently, yeah.
Yeah, Soul Glow is the shit.
Yep.
I like the Operation Ivy probably. Sex Pistols, NoFX, kind of in that.
I mean, you just named
I just
off
named
like
three.
the 3 biggest. Yeah.
I'd say
Oh, I don't know.
Operation
Sex
Ivy
Pistols,
probably
NoFX.
that is the album that I
I got it.
lather, rinse, repeat all the time.
Who's the female-led band that is kind of like ska-ish punk that we were into last year? The
Sickers.
Interrupters.
Interrupters.
The Interrupters.
Interrupters are great.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, they're
good.
pretty good.
Soul Glow's
So
fucking
well.
rad.
Yep.
I feel like there's a metal punk one out there too that's killing it.
Unearth
That
is
we're-
that?
I don't know. On Earth.
It depends.
On Earth.
I mean, it depends on how far you
How
want to stray
far
from
metal.
punk into hardcore.
Yeah.
Knocked Loose is hardcore punk.
See, I was gonna say that, but then I didn't want to.
Spoiler alert. I mean, you know,
Last one. It's from our dear friend Mark.
Cool.
How long did we wait online for our Oasis reunion tickets?
Oh,
It's a good question.
I was in the queue for a while.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I tried so hard.
And then my computer crashed, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck it! I'm not going. I can't
Yep.
do this.
We can't do
It's
it.
too
I
stressful."
couldn't get the dollars to pounds like conversion to work. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Joking people.
I laughed.
It's a
Obviously.
stupid joke.
It was good.
Let's keep going. We're gonna do a little pod favorites section. We're gonna do some worst takes, some best takes, what we really liked doing, what we wish we could have done more of, what we think we fucked up on. What evil was your worst take this year?
I think my ongoing worst take is my lukewarm reception to Kendrick Lamar.
Good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And I'm going to stick with it
Yeah.
So
just because,
is that just the recent last 2 albums, or have you listened to Damn?
yes.
Like all of it is lukewarm to you.
I said I'm sticking with it. With the
Have
last 2
you-
albums. Honestly, the Mr. Morale, that was like my first.
You're right.
Real-
You're really digging into
But
it.
you haven't really
No.
damned or pimped a butterfly.
Nope. Haven't really. I mean, I went back and listened a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I can kind of see what's going on. But at that point, I'm like,
Well,
I've made my decision.
I feel like
calling it your worst take.
I know that you're not nobody is into lyrics as lyrically focused as I am. But if you pull up
Did
the
you
lyrics
just say nobody's as lyrically focused as I am?
here,
Well, okay.
I put a lot
Let
of
me
stock
let me
in.
defend my bad take.
that's fine.
If your whole shtick is rap battle with someone else,
That is a recent shtick.
what is right now? It is his shtick right now, and he's losing it to comedians because he picked a fight with comedians, and comedians you can't hurt their feelings.
Kendrick? Who?
So Andrew Schultz, of all people, is making some like
hate
really,
Andrew Schultz.
really funny, like comment. But here's the thing: is you can't
You don't
have
do it with
a
the-
rap battle
Yeah.
with even a moderate comedian
Yeah.
because
Not smart.
it's just
not
gonna.
smart.
They're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, because they've already looked at themselves
That's
and how
what they do.
That's what they
all
do.
day.
Yeah, Matrix style shit, dodging all of
Yeah.
it, and it,
Yeah. Anything that you wish you could have had more time with, or
everything.
yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
because I like my time compression throughout the year was exponential. So I thought I had like a really good head of steam in the first quarter, going into the second quarter, and then things started getting busier and busier and busier. And then
Yeah.
my life just went fucking bonkers with a new puppy, a whole bunch of new responsibilities, job, and Q1 and Q2 feel like a billion years ago.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Like we were looking at when Stone Temple Pilots was, and we're like, I can barely
Yeah.
even remember doing it.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What's your worst take this year? Actions to you, by the way.
I fold because I don't have any.
Oh,
cards to
yeah. I have
match.
nothing.
Winner, chicken dinner.
No patterns in my head.
I want my worst takes to be the things that probably offended people the most. And because
The Cure.
The Cure and Foxing. And I feel like there's so many people that really, really love both of those albums. And maybe like we just don't have enough time sometimes to dig, especially in the quickfires or the what did we miss episodes. We just don't have enough time to cover 10 or 20 albums and really give them a fair chance.
Yeah.
Because it's just so fast.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's an easy answer.
I feel like I probably was pretty unfair to both of those albums.
Yeah, but we were talking about this at dinner tonight at Red Feather, Boise, Idaho. Yeah, goddamn, was that good?
That was so good.
Oh, fucking A. There is no accounting for taste, and
Sure.
that's not insult. That is, why aren't you allowed to not like The Cure? You know what I mean?
I love
Like,
the old Cure.
Yeah, and it sucks because I know that we have listeners that are like, well, fuck, I'm turning this off because this dumb idiot.
Sorry.
But
Well,
why aren't you allowed to not like The Cure? What,
well, and it's not
None
even.
of us like that Foxing album, which sucks because there are a lot of people that listen to this that did.
Well, okay.
Better, listeners.
Let's take the whole Interpol thing again. The last album, you're like, this is not their best work, but you feel that way about every single album they put out, and then next time they put out an album, the last one, you're like, oh, that was really good.
Yeah, but their last
And
album
so-
sucked so hard.
Sometimes I just, exposure makes you like something more. Maybe if I listen to it a couple more times, I'd be like, yeah, I get what they're doing. And with both of those bands, I can see the talent there. I just didn't get it for both of them.
My worst take this year, it's not a worst take as much as something that I wish I wouldn't have done. And that was the Mayhem episode, the black metal, the Norwegian. And it's not, look, I had an amazing time doing it. It was so fun and I loved it. I loved the studying. I loved doing the episode. But the whole true crime is a very specific genre that I think I'm just not cut out for it. You have to be so specific with your delivery and your dates and
Gotcha.
you've got to have the storyline and I'm not like that. I just want to hone in on the one guy and then just talk shit about it forever. And I don't know. I wasn't super happy about the way that episode went. Now,
Maybe if you talk true crime, you should invite a woman. Women love true crime. Just throw that out there.
yeah, but you hate metal.
But I love true crime.
That's true. What I wish that we could talk more about, and I think everybody in this room would agree, I could have done 7 more episodes on Kurt Cobain. It's funny, we forget because we lived through it, how big of a deal the Kurt Cobain, it's just too easy. It's too easy. And then you get 20 years, 30 years away from it, and then you get back into it and you realize, fuck, I could talk about this for a podcast.
For an entire podcast.
Yeah. It felt like super excited conspiracy theory man was just scratching the surface.
I know.
Right?
Conspiracy theory.
Let's go over to you
Yeah.
and actions to you. Do you have a favorite take
That is the
of a co-host this year?
favorite take. My favorite take, and I don't know if this is an opinion. I think the best thing that happened to this podcast this year was doing 94. Just choosing to do that was amazing.
Good job, Evil.
It's something that we all just enjoyed so much.
Yeah.
and we all lived through it and different ages, and I think that helps a lot too. I think it makes for good content. Are we all folding? Good content.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, you got it. It makes for good content when we're really passionate about things like the Kurt Cobain.
Very true. I don't have a best as much as I have my favorite moment of the pod this year, thanks to the Rachel and Evil. This was a tough year, but it was a fun year. It was so fun. It was awesome. Some of the best episodes we've ever done by far. But it's been tough. And it's been tough on everybody. So much so to where some of the content, I don't want to say suffered, but some of the content probably didn't go the way that we wanted to, that sort of thing. But then we get to the Q4 quickfire of this year, when we're all ragged, I'm jaded. It's that time of year where I'm wondering, like, okay, these guys fucking hate doing this. Like, we're done, right?
Every year.
And then,
You guys
then
gonna
we
quit?
show up. Evil's built it up. He's been Mr. I hate everything except for this one specific thing all year. And he comes into Q4 and just fucking flips everything on its fucking ass. Loving The Cure. Love it. Like all the shit that you were just ready for him to fucking hate. He's like, this is fucking rad. That same fucking episode, Rachel decides to start podcasting. Rachel just starts writing these reviews that are fucking unbelievable. And it's one after another. It's just bam, 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 bam. And Evil and I are looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on right now? Mm-hmm. That was my favorite. I fucking loved that so much. That was really, really awesome. And a reminder of how we're actually pretty good at this. So in your stupid idiot faces.
Sorry.
What about you, Evil?
Sorry about that.
I enjoyed, this was like a process through the 94 breakdowns, digestions, from quarter to quarter to quarter. Because I just gave up at the beginning. I was like, watching you try to tabulate, correlate the top 10 list of the year.
Oh my God.
From quarter to quarter to quarter. Oh. And you'd like, it was
the worst.
It was amazing. It was so good.
We suck so bad.
Well, that's what you get for being a pussy.
You know what we should do? We should talk about our top 5 favorite things that we found because of the pod this year. Nothing to do with this year, nothing to do with 94, unless you want it to. And it can, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think we discovered
wink, wink,
much.
nudge, nudge.
92.
Sun's on black.
94. I was there.
Who wants to start? You want to start?
Sure.
Okay. What is the 5th thing that you've discovered this year?
So
I think it's fucking cool, bro.
this is a band that one of my friends, one of my coworker friends, is obsessed with this band. And she just posts songs all the time from them. Super, super loves them. I hadn't really listened to them.
I know who this is.
It's Mannequin Pussy.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Fucking
That
cool.
album was so good. I was
not
so
bad.
impressed. And that's another one of those things, even though she was posting a ton of songs, it was just, 10 seconds here and there.
I have a band for one of my 5, so I'll go. My number 5
Yeah.
is the band that, I had never heard of, Highly Suspect.
I'm surprised I've not heard of them before.
So I had 2 listeners reach out and tell me to listen to them.
Yes.
Mr. Johnny Vinyl being one of them.
Yeah.
And then I loved Evil's reaction of whenever you get the wait, you don't know these guys? Whenever you get that reaction, you know that you've stumbled onto something great. And that album's fantastic. I've been listening to it. It's very, if I were to tell you that it is a lot like Rival Sons, but it is different because, I don't want to say cleaner, but
It is different, and it is a lot like them, and I can't.
Right? Cleaner is the thing that keeps coming to my face head. I'm really sick of the great cards that I'm getting.
So there's a roundabout story here, but it is Hindu honey.
Will you be the roundabout?
Hindu honey, which is a honey local to Missoula, Montana.
Ah.
And I found it because Megan and I went on a road trip to see Gary
that's right.
Clark Jr. We went there to see Gary Clark Jr., spent a few
hear
days.
he's good.
And he's not bad. He's pretty okay live. And Megan's a huge fan of Gary Clark Jr. now.
Oh, good.
But I don't know that we would have made a trip to go see him if I didn't do the podcast and was into music as much as I am. So, Into Honey, I love it. I order it. I put it in my tea, which I also get.
This goes back to honey.
I also get the tea now from Missoula. 4, my 5th, 4th. All 5 could have been like nuggets from '94.
Yeah. 90 fuggets, as we call them.
All of your conspiracy theories from '94.
But I'm going to stick the theme of things that I probably wouldn't sort of do or pursue if I wasn't into the podcast and constantly going out and finding new music, which makes me listen to because of the podcast, I listen to YouTubers, other podcasts and stuff about music more so than I
really
would have. And because of that, found a song from last year that I'm in love with, and it's Måneskin's Honey, Are You Coming? Which is a fucking banger of a song, and I regret Måneskin.
Is it?
Is that how you pronounce it?
No, it's their.
How dare you?
Isn't it MANN?
Yeah, there's some umlauts in there. Yeah.
Oh.
They're European.
Ew.
Ew. But Honey, Are You Coming? I think, honestly, I'm going to rewind my thoughts here. I think it was Justin Hawkins' YouTube channel. I think he did a review of that song, and I was like YouTubing and found that. And yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm not talking, but this is fucking insane. It's really fun. God, I love Justin Hawkins.
Yeah.
Like, for real. I've done an awful lot of bitching over the last year or two. I'm not done.
I know you're not done. It's going to keep going.
It's going to keep going. I've done an awful lot of bitching this year and last year about independent artists and artists that are kind of getting in their own way, trying to work with people that are probably too busy because now independent artists have to do their own promotion and market. It's bullshit. It's bullshit for them, but it's led to a lot of bad experiences. What I need to be concentrating on and what I need to convey to the listeners is how amazing some of the pockets of these independent musicians are. The ones that stick out immediately in my head is the beauty of one of my favorite presents to give that I've given to 2 uncles and Evil now is the Reaver album by the Brontosaur, which is just one of the greatest artistical concepts, the joy of having a podcast that I've gotten to do. The Brontosaur and that family and the fans of that and those sort of things, the independent artists that were at Tree Fort, the independent artists that are on Instagram that really are trying to help others as well as themselves. I bitch too much, and there are amazing fucking people in this industry through the podcasts, on social media. It's really great how many amazing people we've gotten to meet because of this podcast.
Yeah. My 4 it's another band that there's no fucking way I would have. Mannequin Pussy, I could have, because of my friend. The Warning.
Oh.
Just a talented group of young ladies from Mexico. Really super talented band that I loved and again wouldn't have hit into too.
I like it.
Oh, you're gonna love this one. My number 3, something else that I would have not run into, Deathgasm. I just fucking loved Trevor. Yes. Trevor was out of town when I needed to watch the movie, so I wasn't gonna watch the Argento Suspiria while he was gone, just in case it was scary. And me and Henry, my kiddo, had watched Nightmare Before Christmas, watching Deathgasm. That movie, it's just silly. It's fucking silly. Yeah. And what was the other 80s one that we watched? It wasn't as silly, but it was the one...
Goblin?
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat, yeah. You just pick the silliest 80s movies, and I'm really...
Fuck yeah!
I'm really, really into it.
My number 3, who's the action to? I think it's yours. I think Evil laid down the 2 reds.
Donezo.
The number 3 for me... I did an episode this year where I tried something. And what I did is I decided that a guy that has not imbibed in marijuana for a really long time would imbibe and then only listen to music and study while he was imbibing. And I did that with Dark Side of the Moon. It's a fun episode. Go listen to it. Anyway, I kind of like pot. I've never been a pot guy my entire life.
I think it's important to mention that you live in Washington.
I live in
and
Washington.
It's not illegal.
Absolutely legal. Completely legal.
Yeah.
Recreational.
Not breaking any
anything.
laws.
It is totally legal. It is as legal as drinking a beer.
Yeah.
So no worries there. And I do say it 17 times in the fucking episode because I did have a lawyer friend that was like, say it a lot. Say it a lot.
Every couple
But-
minutes is good.
I've always not like, it's just never been for me. This time,
It was for you.
it was kind of good. Kind of into it. My government working friend.
My number 3 is going to a show. We went to the Botanical Gardens and saw John Batiste. And who was an artist
damn.
that I would have never probably gone to without Megan. She wanted to go
that.
see him. And then we bought his new album when we were there. I'm so happy that I went and experienced that music live
Yeah.
because it was really an experience. That is an incredibly talented human being.
We're doing all this 2024 shit.
Mhm.
I have not listened to that album.
So
So like
Okay.
huge asterisks, I guess, on this year because I don't know.
that's fascinating. That's
Right?
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like forgot to listen to it.
I don't know if I would have liked it as much personally
Yeah, heard it live.
hadn't seen him.
if I hadn't seen him.
The talent in that fucking man. We talk about
Dude.
talented artists a lot.
Yeah.
John Baptiste is a fucking savant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's not in our best of this year, and I don't know.
Maybe we fucked the top 10.
Cut. Sven, we gotta go. No, just kidding.
Let's go listen to it right now.
What's your two? What's your two?
Did you want to put more alcohol in my alcohol cup?
Typically,
My number 2. How do I word this?
use the F word a lot.
This is deep and meta. I am going to use the F word. I swear to God, I'm not patting myself on the back again here. The use of the fucking attitude
Yeah.
from all 3 of us
Yeah.
It's been a lot more
to keep this thing
relaxing.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to feed your kids McDonald's.
Because we had to kind of find that.
Yeah.
We did. Some of us might have cared too much. That's actually a really good one.
It should be my number 1, but there's a
The more
No.
1-1.
yeah.
Annie up, fucker. My number 2 is a band out of Montana that I found this year. Thank you to Tree Fort. With just the most fun fucking drummer, the most killer guitarist, and the most bewitching fucking lead singer, and that is Gilda House. If you watched the episode yesterday, I'm wearing their hat. I am so fucking pro Gilda House. I will promote the shit out of them wherever I can. I want them to come out with an album. I want them to tour everywhere. I want to go see them. I am so glad that I found them.
Yeah.
And that is my number 2. What you got?
Um,
I'm gonna go pick up my poker chips. Hey, girl.
David James. My number 2
Y'all are just mad I'm winning so
was
hard.
one that, it's true, one that
Nice catch,
surprised both you boys that I just loved so much. And it's
The Cure.
another band. It was The Cure. I just fucking love them. It was Health. Loving that Health album as much as I did.
I don't remember that you loved them.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's fascinating.
no, that was good.
That's great.
What?
You don't remember Health? The first quickfire, they're like 9 Inch Nailsy,
Yeah.
but kind of placebo-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Super light singer,
Yes,
but very
yes,
industrial.
Yes.
But it was
Rat
like,
Wars.
Rat Wars.
yeah.
Fuck
It was,
yeah.
it was
remember
metal,
that.
but it wasn't like,
But then
it
you had,
wasn't
like, this
so
guy
hard.
singing, like,
yeah.
fuck yeah, that's rad shit. I don't remember you loving them that much.
I did. I gave
do
it all
now.
the thumbs up.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
One banger.
Number 1, you're going to love this one. I love A Rabbit Hole, which makes it very difficult to study.
Like a singular rabbit hole?
I mean, this was a pretty fucking big rabbit hole that I got into.
That's what she said.
And honestly, which band was it that I was studying that I got into this? It was Jim Jones. It was the Jim Jones rabbit hole.
Oh.
I stayed in there for like 2 hours probably. It was
because of one lyric.
It was the darkest. Oh, right. Was it in Kendrick? No. We didn't go over Kendrick.
Come on, man. It doesn't matter. This is terrible content.
Anyway, part of the reason that I shouldn't say this, but I love studying is because Wikipedia just, click, 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 click. And then you're like, how did Marilyn Monroe died? What kind of Kool-Aid were they drinking? It wasn't Kool-Aid. It was Flavor Aid.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't Kool-Aid.
Oh, that was so funny. And you, God damn it.
What did I miss?
My number one, and you two are going to hate it, and the guy behind the camera is going to love it.
Fuck you.
And the listeners are going to love it, and I'm going to love it, and I'm going to tell you what it is.
Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Svend, what did
Sorry,
we
just
what did
kidding.
we
That's
do
not
all,
nice.
what did
That's
we
not
do
nice.
all year, Svend? A little baby. I fucking love Dave Matthews, and
That's fine.
I haven't for a long time. I stopped listening to them a long time ago, and we went back to them and studied them this year, and they're fucking fantastic, and fuck anybody that thinks otherwise. Evil,
Number one.
what's your number one, my man?
I got to be a time traveler for a good chunk of this year
Yeah, you did.
and go back and
It's fascinating because and it's always sounds like an insult, and it's not. You were older than us.
Yep.
It's so much more to you.
It's more to you than
Yeah.
that is my favorite year of music,
same.
bar none.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
For you?
I know that we were both younger at the time, but I cannot deny that the best music since we've been alive was released that year. There's
year.
no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. I could create a playlist of all of the stuff and ancillary stuff that we didn't even talk about.
Yeah.
And the feelings that I re-experienced listening to that music.
Sad, horny.
So did you have this year, and I kind of talked to David about it. I don't know if I talked to you about it, but like the nostalgia hurt a lot of the time, where it was just like, it was the memories of being in that time and listening to that music and, experiencing that for the first time. Yeah, it was a really tough year emotionally for me because of doing 94.
It was painful to realize that pop music was good one time.
Right? Right?
Pop music was so different.
Yes.
I mean, it was really when it hit
It's
like
brutal.
the
It's
Britney
absolutely
Spears, Mandy Moore, all that stuff, and pop music completely changed into something
Yeah.
bubblegum different than.
Yeah, it was not. I mean, yes, it was. Like, okay, I'm not going to be. It was so much better, but it was so much
so
less of music products.
It was less produced. It was less like let's.
So much better.
It was better.
Let's put
94
all
was
these people
better.
together. And
That
I
was-
mean, what are we comparing? You know what I mean?
I mean,
are we comparing Billie Eilish to fucking Portishead? Like, is that what we're doing?
That's not fair.
Those are the albums.
Sure.
It's very fair.
I will argue that is the best year in music.
Yeah, you will.
You don't need to argue me.
Like, I will carry a sword into that battle.
Punch your face in.
And I know 1969 also very good, but I think 94 because of the scope of music released that year.
Yeah.
That's episode 1. We're getting down to the nitty gritty now. We got to talk about our bests, our favorites, all of it. Episode 2, it's coming out tomorrow. I think it's New Year's Eve. Happy birthday, America.
That's so wrong.
Fucking
No,
idiot.
it's not. It's right. Everybody, good night.
Good luck.
You don't have a cheers.
Right.
Fuck it.
Oh.
Good night.
Oh, geez.
And
Going
see you
downhill.
tomorrow.
I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee. If Santa
The door. Hey, fuckers. Let's learn about pop music from 2024. It's not happening. Chappell Roan has been making music for quite a few years. She put out The Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess this year. The album She's been slowly releasing since 2020, April of 2020, I would think. And she finally released the album this year, and it just fucking blew up. She has this shtick, drag queen, dress up, like really, really elaborate costumes, kind of like a 2024 Lady Gaga. And she just ruled music this year. Lots of very hip songs that were in TikToks, Instagrams, and people just really embraced her and loved her. What else? Brat Summer. Everybody loved Brat, Charlie XCX this summer. It just was a thing. Like women embraced like this confidence, unapologetic, this feminism, party vibes. It even got into Kamala Harris with the presidential debate. It was copied everywhere. Sabrina Carpenter, man, I saw Sabrina Carpenter a year and a couple months ago, and she was fine. She was a very good performer. She was very humble, opening for Blackpink at Hyde Park. And then she just turned into this really sexy Polly Pocket, embraced this whole vision of what she wanted to be as an artist, and people loved it. They embraced it. Again, with the TikToks, with the Instagram, a lot of her music, people just loved and used and were just super, super exposed to it. She has 6 albums out. She's nominated for Best New Artist this year in the Grammys, and she's been making music for years and years and years. She has 6 albums. This most recent one is the one where she's nominated for Best New Artist, so that's something to question, I don't know. And then we have Billie Eilish. This was kind of a long-awaited album, Happier Than Ever. It's been a couple years we've been waiting for it. This one also, like, people loved it. Like, everybody loves, I love a Billie Eilish album. She's just fucking fantastic and she can't fail. She's so talented. Only nominated for 2 Grammys this year, so it's whatever, but really good summer for pop, really good year for pop, really good year for women in pop. That's what I got. See ya, bitches.
Wanna stay right by your side.